Welcome back to United Sports, brought to you by your two favorite couch coaches, Jeff and Azza, bringing you the greatest sporting perspectives that no one's asked for.
I'm glad you changed it to the greatest.
The greatest.
The last few weeks has been the best, good, but today it's the greatest. Well, what do you have for us?
Oh, let's see those sporting highlights from the weekend that was. There's been a lot happening in the sporting arena, on different sporting arenas. What are your top highlights from the weekend that was?
Want to start us off?
I want to say the Ryan Garcia and Tank fight.
Yeah, that was hyped up, a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot of build up to
That was a sicky fight.
Yeah, I think they really sold their fight really well.
Yeah, they sold it.
And
Tank is him.
Yeah.
Tank
I was
is
actually
him.
going for Garcia.
Yeah, same.
I thought he would kind of keep the distance, just keep arms length from him, and just outbox him on the outside. But Tank just got inside and dropped him in the fourth, and then finished him off with a body shot, a liver shot to end him.
Yeah, the Garcia not keeping his reach, It's weird. He wanted to fight up close, or maybe Tank is just that good.
Tank is definitely him.
He's
I
definitely
underestimated how. I mean,
His power,
Yeah.
that was just...
And that liver shot though, it's like if you see he hit him, and it was the delay reaction.
Yeah.
He kind of backs away, and
then he went down to
He
he went down to propose to him
Yeah,
on one knee.
Nah, but actual experts have said that it's like anyone, doesn't matter who you are, if you get hit in the
liver.
In the liver.
in that area, it'll be hard to come back from.
But he took repeated body shots, That was the thing. It
And
wasn't
it's
just
like-
that one liver shot. It was throughout the whole match.
But it's like
There were
you can't
Plenty
even,
of body shots.
like you would want to fight, but your body just like shuts down. Like you actually, that's why his reaction was a little bit delayed.
Yeah.
But and you could tell he wanted to continue fighting, but he just couldn't.
But there was a lot of smack talk in the build up to it, but it was good to see the respect at the end.
Honestly, I feel like a lot of that smack talk is forced sometimes.
Yeah, of course, to sell the fight.
It's like when Joseph Parker, before he fights, it's like he tries his best to smack talk, but he's a genuine dude.
But they bet their bags against each other, bet their fight.
They're fighting.
And Tank ended up saying, "Oh no, he can have his purse."
I don't think that was ever really a thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of boxing, David Tua, he recently just got inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
The only Samoan to ever do so, that's a great feat for us Islanders, not just Samoans, but Islanders in general, to see one of the GOAT heavyweights be inducted. It's good to see,
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, David Tua's had a great career.
David Tua goes down as the GOAT of New Zealand boxing.
Yeah, the GOAT. Well, to stay away from boxing anyway, I'm going to go into the NRL.
Okay.
Right, the NRL. It's Anzac week this week, and we just saw the greatest comeback ever in a game. 26-0 down. The Titans versus the Dolphins. Titans they were off to a hot start in that first half, scoring 26 points, and then the Dolphins came back in the second half, winning the game 28-26.
I saw a meme just recently that said the Titans should go to the NRL and ask to bring the Nines back because they can only play for 18 minutes.
Well, that is very true. But it was good to see that type of match, especially a record-breaking.
Man, I love watching the Dolphins play. I don't know what this. It's also been noted that the numbers for this year have gone way up.
Yeah.
Just with the inclusion of obviously
crowd attendance, viewership via screens, obviously.
It's all at record viewership.
Yeah, I think it's since 2013. They say 2013, 2014,
which is only good for our games.
Yeah, the NRL is growing massively. It's growing massively, and it's great that the Dolphins, as a new franchise, has a coach like Wayne Bennett to steer them in the right direction. Yeah. Because if it was any other coach, that team would be folding right now. So
yeah, that's true.
Man, is he like a mortal coach or something?
Wayne Bennett?
Yeah, he's probably the greatest
Wayne
coach
Bennett.
of all time.
He's definitely.
Is he the GOAT coach?
I think so.
Over Bellamy?
Yeah.
Over Robinson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Just the longevity. He's been doing it for a long time.
I think what Bennett did in 2020, the Origin series alone makes him the GOAT. How do you win a series of Corey Allen, Phil Sami,
Yeah.
Brinko Lee, all those players? Eh? Like they're great, not great. They're good players in the NRL, but they're not Origin standard, that's for sure. And he still won with them.
The greatest upset ever. Yeah.
Any other sporting highlights, fellas?
That was it on the top of my
No.
mind. Do you have any?
Or the recent signing of RTS
Oh my gosh.
coming back to the Warriors.
Yeah.
2024.
I felt like I
RTS
betrayed the
return.
Warriors fans just now. I'm sorry, Warriors fans. That should have been my highlight, but I guess I was just taken over by that win by
Great
the
comeback. Yeah.
by the Dolphins.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on
Um,
that RTS
Oh
resigning?
man, it's only good for rugby league. Yeah, he's a quality fullback. He was one of the first who was running over 200 every week.
Yeah, he set the standard for that,
he
eh?
did. And especially at fullback too. Like, I mean, he was consistently 200 plus, and then Teddy started doing it.
Yeah.
Dylan Edwards is starting to do it.
Yeah.
So
And that's a new age fullback now.
And
It's
I
that
hon-
workhorse type,
yeah,
eh?
and I honestly think he's gonna come back and nothing's changed.
Yeah.
I
Do you
still
think he'll slot straight back into
straight
fullback?
I think it'll take him a few games to get back into the groove of things, but man,
Where
you
would
reckon
you
he's going back to fullback?
I think so. There's been reports that he's gonna play in the centers, but I can't see him anywhere.
Yeah.
Fullback.
Then he'll have to play a roaming center role, eh?
Yeah, and then you're bringing him back. He's not getting his hands on the ball.
Yeah, you're really limiting his abilities if you put him at centre. But what does that say about his rugby tenure? Do you think it's
Yeah.
been good?
Has he accomplished
Has it
everything?
been successful?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
What makes you think so?
Well, he's achieved his dream playing for the All Blacks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's put on the jersey. It might seem like, against who? Like it was
Right.
just like these baby games he's come on for 5 minutes
Right.
or whatever it is.
but he still
it's
accomplished
such
that
a
goal,
hard-
right?
It's such a hard thing to even get there. So.
But was there more for him to accomplish? Do you think if he sticks around, there will be more?
I think if he makes the World Cup squad at the end of the year, he's done all that he could have.
Yeah.
I mean, he's played for the Blues. He's starting before his injuries. He played for the All Blacks. There's nothing else left for him to do, really, apart from win the Super Rugby title and win the World Cup. But not many players can do that unless you're Sonny Bill.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, that midfield for the All Blacks isn't looking very. It's looking tough. Is
Yeah.
What I mean.
I mean, the positions are always up for grabs, and competition is good because it breeds excellence. Eh?
I just think if he gets into that, was it 30, 40 man squad or wherever it is,
Yeah.
that goes on tour, I think he'll be okay. I think he'll get some game time.
Yeah, against like Namibia or something.
I honestly can see a world where he plays his way into the top squad.
Really?
Like maybe off the bench,
Like
23,
23?
in the big game.
Yeah.
Come on for you.
Or like last man, like
yeah.
to see if there's any last minute injuries and gets promoted into the starting team.
Yeah. Do you think he came in and into the wrong position straight away? Like he should have done a Rico and started on the wing, slowly push his way in. Because like as good as he is at centre right now with the ball in hand,
Right.
defensively he's gone found out. a few
Yeah,
times.
it's tough because he went from fullback in the NRL, and you're defending out the back with no one in your face,
Yeah.
to defending out in the centres, and they say it's one of the hardest positions to defend at because you do call the defensive line up,
Yeah.
and plus they're right in your face. You're not 10 meters away or whatever it is in league.
Yeah.
So I can see where you're coming from, but I think centre was probably the best position to put him at because he gets the ball in his hands a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's just same situation as if you were to put him back in the centre for the Waz, right? Because he doesn't get enough ball,
Yeah.
he can't showcase his ability. But if you put him at fullback when he comes back to the Waz, he's going to get the ball a lot more chances of him to show off his left foot step.
Yeah.
And that's what people love about him, is that he can step anyone in a phone box, right? Is that he showcases their ability. He can break tackles,
Yeah.
and if you put him out on the wing, like he can showcase some of it, but not his full repertoire.
Yeah.
So, I get where you're coming from and easing him in, but then I believe that him at centre hasn't actually been that bad.
Yep.
It's just defensively, he may have a few shaky reads, but offensively, he's still a gun, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to get the ball in into a player like him.
Man, speaking of guns, honestly, my sporting highlights from the weekend came from mulitalo and Rob Jennings. Man, that was crazy. Like there was some mulitalo's try, not understandable. You don't get a pass for that.
Nah,
not at that level.
no.
And if your team had lost by 4 points, or
Yeah.
with the under
For sure.
4 points, then that's
For sure.
Yeah, he's just got to rein it in, I think.
yeah.
That's twice now in this year.
Yeah.
He's come up with something like that.
Man, he's a, what would you say, a top 5 winger in the game?
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah, a top
Absolutely.
5 winger in the game can't have those blunders,
Yeah.
Can't have those blunders. Whereas I can understand with George Jennings.
Was it Robert?
Was it
Robert?
Robert?
That was
Sorry,
Robert.
Robert
It was
Jennings.
Robert
I can understand with Robert Jennings because he's coming back off injury. He's getting himself back.
What
He's
was
getting
he up
himself
to?
acclimated back into the
Man,
team.
is it because you don't understand the rules?
Oh,
Or was it just a mind lapse?
I think we were having a conversation earlier about the fact that these players are conditioned by the ref. You notice that, if they think there's a slight obstruction, they will just like hone it back and just go straight to the ground, which sucks for the game because you don't want to see them slow up or anything like that.
Yeah.
And Robert Jennings, is it George? Robert Jennings, he thought that he was tackled. So like he's so scared of getting back up to promote the ball that it might be a
double movement.
a double movement.
Yeah.
Sorry, a double movement. But yeah, I just think that all of these players are conditioned. Like you barely see any crusher tackles now because they were really honing in on that, and now the hip drop thing is coming into the game, and it's really hindering the game right now with all these sin bins and all these suspensions. Yeah, I don't know.
That's
I think you got to understand if it's for safety reasons.
Oh,
like
100%.
precautions. But then when it's stuff like that, like your obstruction and when you just drop to the ground and stuff, I
Yeah.
get what you mean.
Or you just drop it at the line like Jennings did. Yeah.
Blunders. What are your biggest blunders?
Are you going off just because of those two?
Just because those two. Nah,
That's
it
a
was
great
because
segue, though.
That actually set me up to go and look at all the other blunders that I've seen over the years,
Right.
and I just had a good laugh.
Yeah.
And at the time, it wasn't funny, but man, what are your top blunders in any sport?
Any sport?
Any sport.
The one that comes to mind for me is 2008 World Cup final.
Final.
Billy Slater.
Oh, yeah,
That's
he
a
just throws it
blunder.
Yes.
When he throws it back in to Benji,
To Benji,
to
yeah.
score the try to pretty much win the game, right?
Yeah.
And then that's Kiwi's first World Cup win ever.
Yeah.
So that was Billy Slater, one of the GOATs, but to see a blunder from him like that, it's crazy. That's crazy.
Man, Billy's the GOAT too. He really makes a mistake like that.
Yeah, and that's what makes it like so weird,
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that Billy made a mistake like that, made a blunder like that.
Yeah.
You never really see it.
Mine comes from another World Cup. I think it's 2013. Sonny Bill against.
Oh yeah,
He pretty much like left, like goes
Yes.
straight through the line,
yes.
and like no one inside, just casually jogging, like he could put the ball down. And then he goes to step and he slips.
Honestly,
He slips and tries to put it down, but he's gone dead already.
but those fields in England,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
in Europe or UK, wherever they played around that time, they're the worst. Have you seen those in goals? They're like 2 meter in goals. But still, Sonny Bill.
And people go crashing into the fence line.
Yeah, exactly. And there's like a hill, like a little hill that dips down. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. There's one that I watched over the weekend after I watched Rob Jennings on. It's the forward pass to Danny Tusala for Samoan Sevens.
I know that what you're talking about.
Under the sticks.
Yeah.
Under the sticks,
Yes.
over the try line.
Yes. Yeah. Nah, that's a good one. That is.
And that was a period of Samoan Sevens where we weren't doing that great. Like,
Yeah.
And then to throw that on top of that is like,
I mean, like, yeah, it was cool that you're trying to be nice and give the bro a try, but don't give it to him forward. That doesn't make any sense, man.
You've been playing too long to know that you can't throw the ball in front to the other player.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of blunders over the year. I mean, J.R. Smith.
Yes, J.R. Smith.
LeBron.
And then what LeBron was like looking at him, so yeah, LeBron was angry as at him, eh? But yeah, what is any other blunders that you can think of on top of your head? I could just think of that World Cup one, eh? The 2 World Cup ones.
There's probably so many that we missed out on.
What's the one with the Cook Island team? Oh, he
Oh,
played
yes.
the ball backwards.
Producer Chris just mentioned the Cook Islands rugby league team, was it? And they played the ball backwards towards the other team.
Actually, we gotta make a highlight reel and put it on.
Yeah, for sure.
There's,
And let people comment on
There's
it.
Ava Silman Fangai from the Sharks.
Yeah.
Time at the Sharks. Kickoff, he runs, for kickoff.
Yeah.
He runs down the field only to realize his team's on the other side of the field. And all the Rabbitohs are standing like with him.
Yeah.
So he's just running, getting ready to take the kickoff. He looks and he realizes he's facing his own team, the Sharks.
Right.
So he runs back down the other field.
Yeah. Now, those are individual blunders, but the biggest blunder of them all was still the game in the weekend. Titans versus Dolphins. Titans,
man.
come on, man.
Like,
Get it together. Shocker.
was that equal? Equal for the greatest comeback?
Yeah, it was
It
equal.
was equal, right?
Yeah.
But when was the other one? Like in the 1900s or something?
1988, I think. Or
Oh,
something.
yeah. Anything before the 2000s, it's not really doing it for me. If you weren't there to witness it during the time,
So
then
why are you all Michael Jordan fans?
there's enough YouTube highlights.
Moving on to our question of the week. Our
Alright.
fan Q of the week.
Shout out
Mato
to-
Slips.
Shout out to our loyal listeners, man.
So in the weekend we
If we have
received a DM from Daniel Benedict, and he wants to know.
Neil Benedict.
He wants to know, as you both have stated in your intro, you both are the best coach couches that nobody's asked for. So where do
Okay.
you think your opinions and views on sports stand in the grand scheme of things?
Oi.
Or how important is it to have commentary from your everyday fan watching from home compared to, say, the likes of the professionals such as Footy Show, Matty John Show, or YKTR?
Oh,
Defend yourselves.
that's a
Jeez.
that's a tough question there,
It's a lot to
Mr.
take.
Benedict.
That's tough, eh?
What was it? What was his name? Something Benedict. Daniel.
Daniel Benz.
Daniel Benedict.
Thank you for the
Daniel
question,
Eggs.
Daniel Benedict.
Thanks, Benny.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's a very layered question. When Azza says that we are couch coaches, he literally means we are like we've got no professional history whatsoever. But we are just massive fans of sport,
Mm-hmm.
especially rugby league. And I've said numerous times on our normal YDP on Either Side podcast that I think it's okay to critique a player or to critique a team based on performance, because us fans, it's what runs the organizations, it's what gets them paid, it's us buying the merch, it's the ticket sales, it's us watching them on Sky or Fox or whatever it is. That's how they get their revenue. So if I think as fans, we should be okay. It should be okay for us to criticize them, although we've never played at a professional level. Although I think some fans can be a bit much,
Yeah.
But that's what fandom is, though, right? It's you stick up for your team, you critique your team's doing well, you ride that wagon with them. If they're doing bad, then I think you should be able to critique them, even if it's stuff that's small, or like that Ronaldo one. I know you were critiquing him over that, but at the end of the day, they don't have to listen to this. None of them are probably listening to this right now, and that's all right.
Well,
But
Ronaldo does. He's a fan. Nah.
but I think it's okay for us to give our opinions as long as it's not personal towards them, their families, or
Yeah.
culture and religion. I think it's fine, eh?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it?
I think you've answered it perfectly. I think as couch coaches, I think now we sort of view the game differently,
Right.
as opposed to some people that I know say like, he scored a nice try in the corner.
Mm.
Whereas we're starting to look at the lead up to the try.
Right.
You know, the shapes and the
Right.
and everyone around the try.
Yeah.
You know, that's the stuff we're sort of looking at right now.
Right.
And we have it in our own chat.
Yes.
Like we don't focus on the put down in the corner.
Right. We're focused on what leads up to the put down in the corner.
I think that's the
evolution of, like, I think us at YDP, us as couch coaches, is that
people who love sport.
Exactly. We're not looking at the final result as, like, e.g. the try being put down.
Yeah.
We're looking at the process and how they got that try, whether it's the block shape, you know, whether it's that assist that leads to the basket, or whether it's a person taking a conversion. Hey, what are their steps that they take to get there?
And it usually is us three, you and I and Paul, who kind of break down the try. Just
right.
in our own chat group.
Right.
It's always or if they've had a try scored on them, like, man, could have missed the assignment here.
Yep.
And then he'll come in and actually it was Liam Martin or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
He missed there. So that's the stuff that I'm enjoying about it.
Right.
I'm starting to learn
more of the process behind why they're doing what they're doing that leads to the result.
Recently we've been on the money with our takes on the tries and what led to the tries, or defensively where they went wrong.
Yep.
So that's why I feel like we have the right to to say what we say.
Actually, I think equally as important that we need to know what we're talking about.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
like we have that responsibility to know what we're talking about.
Yep.
I think we're in no way Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith.
Yep.
Well, we can't run a sports show if we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, but I think they're respected because of the research and the hours that they spend studying the game. Yep. And I think when we speak, we're not at that point yet, but we have a fair idea of what
we're talking about, eh?
Yeah.
And it's for the public to view, eh? It's a public arena, like what CK1 was saying before. Like when they play sports, it's entertainment. It's the same way you would judge a singer if they're not singing right, right? It's the same way your ears can hear if someone's playing the guitar wrong. Like, I'm not musical at all, but I can hear a bad voice because I can hear my own when I sing, but I can hear a bad voice when I hear one, right? It's the same way as like what we were saying as sports fans is, we're not as good as the professional singer or the professional league player, but we should still have an opinion on it, because at the end of the day, we fill their pockets and we're the ones tuning in to keep that sport running.
100%.
And then on the other side, we create the safe environment where we can provide takes on certain topics, sporting topics, sporting moments, because on the contrary to that is hate in the comment sections. Right. It's banter. It's like taking a stab at someone's reputation online, or actually cyberbullying. That's the alternative. So here at YDP, we kind of, let's bring your couch coach opinions and
for sure.
Actually put it into a positive environment where we can share.
For sure. And that's what I love about, us as fans, right? Is that yes, we have our opinion, but like I said before, at the end of the day, those professionals, they don't need our opinions. They don't need to listen to us, and they don't need to look at Instagram or Twitter and see what people are saying about them, because at the end of the day, they're the 1% of the 1%, right? So they will never reach that. But at the end of the day, I love being a fan of the sports, and I'm never gonna stop saying what I believe.
Yeah, and we here at YDP, we don't, our opinions. We are allowed to have our opinions. But we don't bag certain players.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but also if we do make a take, and it's wrong, we are willing to take that take back. Yeah. Right? Because what's the point on standing on something that's not right? So if we make a claim that someone's not top 5, blah blah blah, and they prove us otherwise, we'll come back on here and say, no, that player's proven me wrong, blah blah blah. I'm gonna take it back.
Is that right, Jeff? Is that right? I'm gonna come back to that thought. But to close off this segment and to close off our fan queue for the week, give me your golden rule for any couch coach. You have one rule. What's the one rule to
Ooh.
live by as a couch coach?
As a couch coach.
As a couch coach, have your opinion, but don't attack them personally. I like. I
Mine
believe
is
in that.
to sit on the couch and point at the TV screen and say, I could have done this better. I would have done this. I would have scored that. I have your opinion at home.
Yeah,
It
my one
matters
would
to
be.
no one.
Yeah, that's actually true. I could have been there. No, but my one would be like, everyone makes a mistake. You
Right.
can't critique a mistake, but you can critique effort.
Okay, yeah.
When you can see that their effort on the field isn't 100, then by all means.
Right.
But in saying that, Jeff, you know what you've done.
What have
Last
I done?
week, Jeff announced to everyone that he's leaving YDP if Tommy Turbo doesn't score a certain amount of fantasy points this week. So for a very terrible take, Aaron, what's his punishment?
Bro, did I really say that,
CK1?
bro?
CK1.
Did I really
Do
say
you have
that?
his punishment ready? Because, hey, we're not willing to give you
He
up.
said,
Just you.
Mina's going to bring up.
Did I?
Mina's going to bring it up.
So
Did
he
I
said
really
that.
say
He
that?
said he was going to quit YDP if Turbo doesn't go over 60.
Wow, you're really.
He came back in today and asked for forgiveness. So this is the punishment for Jeff.
Oh, jeez.
I was way back into YDP. You gotta
Cheers,
stop
brother.
throwing YDP around like that.
Look, I really care about YDP that I'm willing to put on the line for my fantasy players to score these scores that I'm
Nah.
predicting.
You got to value your seat.
Yeah.
That's what
Oh,
I was going to
man.
say.
Look, this. Are you sure? Do I have to do this?
Hey, it's
Are we a group of forgiveness or not?
Nice, bro. Welcome back to YDP.
YDP.
Two favorite couch coaches.
This is not right, bro. We got little children watching our podcast.
It's forgiveness water. Don't worry.
Come on, Bo. Next segment.
You're a good, you're a good sport, brother.
Thanks,
We're
bro.
moving on to rugby. You saw Brandon Smith's stab at Australian Rugby Union.
Yep.
Joseph Suali'i is not going to help you beat the All Blacks.
A $1.6 million winger.
Okay, is ARU signing Joseph Suali'i to the Wallabies going to help Australian Rugby?
No. And it's not.
Like, not at all.
Not at all. Oh, okay. I can see some positives with the signing. Suali'i's young.
Yep.
He's marketable.
Yep.
He's a good-looking bloke.
Yeah, he's hot. Yeah,
Right? He's
yeah.
got the looks.
Yeah.
He's a marketable guy. But $1.6 million winger, like what Brendan Smith
Yeah.
said, isn't gonna help you. It's not gonna help you build up the development
Yeah.
through the systems. It isn't gonna help you beat the powerhouses like the All Blacks, England, South Africa, all those teams. But yes, in terms of, I think what Rugby Australia need is exposure right now, right? That's what they need more than anything. And bringing on Suali'i
Yeah.
could be that exposure that they need.
Well, it is. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I
And
think-
what are your thoughts?
yeah, I think that's exactly what Australia is going with.
Right.
Signing someone like Suali'i who's come off a World Cup.
Yep.
like he
Successful
has,
World Cup.
Successful World Cup.
As a young buck.
You obviously see the parades that were happening around the world, so everyone knows who Suali'i is,
Right.
and he's bringing that audience over with him.
Yes.
Come when he goes over to play for Australia. 'Cause
Yep.
we love that guy. Hey, we love
Yes.
that kid.
Yep.
As soon when he was playing for Samoa, we all followed him.
Yep.
we followed him closely. So we'll do the same thing when he goes over to Australia.
Yes.
We'll, follow his journey.
Yep.
But is it going to help the Wallabies beat the All Blacks? I don't even think the All Blacks are the team to beat. It's Ireland.
Yeah, it's
So,
Ireland, it's France.
so,
Yeah. But I think to address what Bo was asking us in terms of, is it going to help ARU? It's ARU, right?
yeah.
Is it going to help ARU? Yes and no. In a sense of, like what we were talking about before, exposure.
Yeah.
Bringing in new fans. I'm going to stay tuned now
Yeah,
because
so am I,
Suali'i is going
yeah.
over, right? So if if people like us are gonna want to stay tuned to the Wallabies because Suali'i is going over, who knows how many other people are gonna stay tuned to them, right?
Yep.
But it's beyond that though. It's the building up the pathway programs, it's the development, and that's what New Zealand does right. Hey,
Yeah.
it's the junior grades coming up through high school, coming up through club, and then the transition from club into NPC. Yeah, it's smooth transitions. Whereas they had to grab somebody like Suali'i from rugby league at a high price tag at 1.6 million. That's the only way they can get good players over.
Yeah.
But I don't blame Suali'i for wanting to go to. Like, if anyone chucked,
Get
Well,
the bag.
if anyone threw $1.6 million at me, yeah, far man, I'm going.
Yeah.
Far
What-
bro.
So what do you think of? Sorry, what do you think of the approach, right? Like, or the battle that's kind of going on between the NRL and Australian Rugby Union, because there's obviously Valendi's come out and said that, you know, someone like RTS to want to come back.
Paraphrasing.
Yeah, paraphrasing. That's it.
Paraphrasing.
That he's wanting to come back because, you know,
Yeah.
quote unquote, he's like
He's not happy
he's
with
not
the.
happy there. It's boring over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I also heard during the week that Gordon Tellis come out and he said that you know, this is Australian rugby's selling point is that you can come over here and you can play over in France, you can play over in all
Right.
these other places and earn money.
Right.
And he was kind of saying, how is that a selling point for Australian rugby that you have to you go play somewhere else? You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
So
I get you.
how's that helping the Wallabies?
Right.
Is kind of what he was getting at.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So-
I think the feud between NRL and ARU is dumb. I think it's just stupid, eh?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the NRL, yes, they're its own organization, but they should want to see the Wallabies succeed as their national team, right? It's like it's like the Wars and the All Blacks. Like, yeah, to a minor, like to a smaller point,
Scale, yeah.
smaller scale, sorry, to a smaller scale. But man, they back each other, right? Like, because you want to see your national team do well.
Yeah, I think the issue is the poaching. So
Right.
Rugby league poaching from rugby union in the junior grades and vice versa.
Yeah.
I think that's the issue at hand.
But what's necessarily wrong with that? If the player agrees to go over to that other code, what is that? Why is that an issue?
Yeah, well, Billy Slater said it perfectly. He said, if I was a kid coming up through the junior ranks at rugby union, and what's called, then they come in like, how would you feel as a rugby union kid
Yeah.
coming up through the ranks
Right.
if we just you know,
Buying NRL
buying
player.
NRL players to come over?
Right. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
would you feel as a kid? Like,
Yeah. True. You'll be demoralized there because you've worked your way up through the rugby union ranks
yeah,
and just to poach this NRL player. They'll come in.
Yeah,
This prodigy, they'll probably come and take a spot that you've been gunning for a long time. I get that point, but at the end of the day, there should not be a feud. Like, it should be the players' decision whether they want to go or not. Suali'i should still be eligible for State of Origin this year, regardless of him going. He should be able to chase the bag because that's a big bag, and if no other NRL team wants to offer that, then what's the point? Let him go. Let him enjoy it. If he decides to come back, he'll come back.
yeah. He's still in like 19.
He's only 19. By the end of the next World Cup, he was going to be in his mid-20s, and he can come
Yeah,
back.
there was something. Yeah, it was a hot topic for a while. I think it still is because I heard Payne Haas is looking at a switch to Union. I don't know where he would play.
Number 8.
'Cause I think he's perfect for league.
Yeah.
I think the type of player he is.
He would make a great number 8, don't you think?
You reckon?
Yeah,
With
for
all
sure.
the technical stuff he will have to learn.
What about Locke?
All the ruck
He's
work.
quite tall.
Yeah.
Not tall enough. eh?
Honestly, I think he'd be a great number 8. Pick the ball
Oof.
pick the ball up at the back of the scrum and just run it straight over people.
It's really rare that you get a league convert come over and
To
play
the
in the
forwards,
forwards.
Yeah.
So
Because it's so technical, eh?
Yeah.
It's,
That's what I mean. I
it's
think
very
he would be-
technical.
Yeah, think about the converts over the year. You
Mm.
have, because I saw Wendell talk about this.
The $1.6 million
Yeah,
winger.
about not helping the Wallabies beat the ABs when He
Yeah.
thought of a time where Lottie Takiri came
Terrorised
over,
him,
and
yeah.
he did, and they were able to beat New Zealand in the semi-finals at a World Cup.
Yeah, when I heard that though, I'm like, yeah, but the Wallabies back in those days were a dominant side. They're not dominant right now, and they haven't been for a while. If you think about the Lote Takiri and Wendell Sailor days,
Yeah, Rogers. Yeah.
yeah, they had a
man,
gun
Rogers.
as team, and people actually watched the rugby union and the Aussie when
Yeah,
they're on the
that's
top
true.
of the
Yeah,
world,
yeah.
right? So yeah, I get what his point is, but then it also doesn't make sense because it doesn't correlate to today's times because the ARU are just going down.
Yeah, ever since the Israel Folau incident, they
Yeah,
went
yeah,
down
yeah.
like
Yeah,
big time
big time.
in international level, but also the union itself
Yeah.
lost money and stuff. We
Yeah,
won't dive into that topic, but
But speaking of the Wallabies, sorry, I'll just ask you guys quickly. Did you see today that it came out that the Wallabies are primarily going to wear white as their primary jersey for the World Cup? Is it so no longer gold
why?
to cater to the colorblind?
that is so
So
stupid.
primarily, they
I'm sorry
their-
to all our
their-
colorblind audience out there,
their
but
jersey's
This
going to
is
be
why
white.
Australian rugby is just they're missing the point.
This is the first time you guys are hearing that. What's your on first
that is ridiculous.
here?
First of all, why are you letting go of the iconic gold jersey?
Yeah,
You know, during the times of Gregan and Lote Takiri, like you would Wendell Sailor, that gold, yellow, whatever jersey it is, that's iconic, eh?
yeah.
With the Qantas logo in the middle. Oh man, that's iconic. I don't know.
So for
That is crazy.
for the World Cup, primarily they're going to be white jerseys.
But you
They're-
know
they're
what?
doing
It's
too
such-
much, bro.
It's such a Wallabies Australian
Yeah.
rugby thing to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
They're in the clouds, man.
But this addresses another issue in sports. It's the it's the woke,
Inclusivity.
it's the wokeism in
wokeism
sports,
for
man.
real.
Wokeism.
That's another topic we need
They're
to
so
dive
woke,
to
they
another time.
they fell
but-
asleep. And they go busy.
Well, what do you call those the blind thing that people touch?
The brails.
The brails.
The braille.
Why don't you go ahead and just put brails on the jersey?
Apparently, Mato Chris has said that it's part of the World Rugby's approach to inclusivity for our disability
Really?
viewers. Yeah.
Damn.
And it's contested. Not everyone agrees.
Is it a disability? Colorblind?
Yeah. Yes.
Being colorblind.
Is
Yeah.
that a disability?
It's not really a
It's not.
disability.
It's
Oh.
a
It's not.
disadvantage. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a
it's-
disadvantage. It's not a
okay.
disability.
It is. You can't tell what color.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What something is.
Okay, let's just say it as then.
Yeah, we'll move on. We'll talk about it.
Okay. Now,
Because it'll be colorless.
so
Yellow.
if that is
Yellow
true, what about if the All Blacks wear all white? Now what's gonna happen?
Yeah, but if you wear your shade of whatever it is whatever color it is, they see it. Like if it's a yellow or a gold, it'll be like a grey, a darker
Oh.
shade.
Right.
So I don't understand why you would need to change the color to white for them to see it,
Yeah.
because they will just be seeing black and white anyways.
I don't know
Being
if they want
colorblind
to.
is not a
If
disability.
they want to do this,
Sorry.
if they want to do this inclusive stuff, they need to put brails on the jerseys too, like what Aaron was saying before.
Honestly, I think they're moving on to neon lights soon.
Oh man,
Um,
that's just what sports is nowadays,
yeah,
eh?
sports-
Just
but
a whole
back
whole
to
lot
back
of
to the
wokeism.
topic. In terms of marketing, I think the ABs played Sonny Bill really
Yeah.
during a time where you could say New Zealand rugby didn't really need him,
Yeah.
but they needed the exposure.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
And the guy with the sleeve,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the guy with the comb over,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the guy
Sonny
with
Bill came over as well.
Sonny Bill comb over was an actual thing.
And that's why, that's why I kind of think that this move might work, the Suali'i to Aussie
Yeah.
rugby, because he's marketable, man.
Yeah.
He's a good-looking bloke.
Yeah, that was a great talk, boys. On to our NRL talk for the week.
Mm. Do you got anything notable that you want to talk about first?
Well, we kind of touched on the Dolphins game. I think that was probably the most entertaining game for me.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think the Penrith and Rabbitohs game.
Yes.
That was,
Yeah.
Yeah, what a comeback for
The
them.
Thursday night games have been on, eh?
Yeah.
The Thursday night
Yeah,
games.
Yeah,
And that's why I'm kind of disappointed in this week's Thursday night game.
Stop it right now.
If you don't know, this week's Thursday night game is Sharks versus Cowboys. That's going to be a snooze fest.
Prime time, baby. Prime
That's going to
time
be
TV.
a snooze fest. Yeah, there's 2 other games being played on Anzac Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's the Roosters and Dragons and
So whilst
Wild's there.
this is recording, the Dragons and the Roosters haven't played, and the Warriors and
And the
and
Storm.
Melbourne Storm haven't played. But
Yeah.
going back to the Penrith and Rabbitohs game, to come back,
Yep.
8 points down
Yep.
with 6 minutes to go or whatever it was.
Yep.
Yeah, what a win by Rabbitohs.
Yeah. Man, Critter. Hey, Critter.
Yeah.
Critter loves to verse the Bunnies.
Yeah.
He scored a hat trick against the Bunnies.
He scored all 18 points by himself.
Oh yes, and he got the goal kicking too,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
ruined Cleary's fantasy points. But hey, we'll talk about that soon. Yeah, Critter loves. See, the thing is, Critter was unstoppable on offense, but I think he got caught out a little bit on his defense. It was that one try where he shot up.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
they
it was
went
Mitchell's
right.
try.
Yeah, Charles try.
With Charles try. But you love Critter for that because he'll just come back. He has amnesia, He'll just forget about it and go straight on to the next play.
Yeah.
And yeah, he scored a hat, all 18 points for them.
Yeah.
But to touch on the Bunnies, yeah, I thought Penrith had this game in the bag when when they were up 8 points. But
You-
for them to come back, Latrell, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
Trell Mitt, man, when he shows up, no one can stop him, man.
Yeah.
And he was due for a good game against
he was kind of getting
Penrith.
like
Panthers.
pushed in the media to get more involved.
Yeah,
And in the last 3 games, he's done exactly that.
yeah. The thing about the media though is that they're always gonna bag Latrell and they're always gonna bag Jerome Luai. It's a every week type thing,
Yeah.
If one of them doesn't perform, they're gonna be put on the front page. You're gonna see Kinty come out and
Yeah.
say something about
Tie up your hair.
tie up your hair. It's like Luai is always
But you can't
the
fault
front
Luai
page.
for his effort in that game.
Nah, yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
Luai.
he actually turned up. And
He
He-
proved
well,
to me why the
He's-
6th jersey
he's
is his in
incumbent.
Origin.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Are you worried about the Panthers? They've lost 3 games already, and they lost 3 games the whole of last year, I think. So what are you worried about them or?
Yeah, I
A
still
little bit.
think they're gonna be there.
Yeah, they're
in
about.
September footy.
Yeah,
They're a team that's done it back to back.
yeah,
So they know how to win. They know how to play these finals games.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about they're gonna make it
yeah,
to September footy.
yeah. I just think you can't get up every week,
Yeah.
In the
that's
last 2 seasons for them, they've gotten up every game. Well, the last 2 seasons they've only lost about a max of 5 games or something. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. And to do it at a professional level, and you got to remember that the Panthers team, they're all young.
true. Yeah.
Hey, so like yes, they're young and their bodies can eventually take it, and that they're not gonna get battered and bruised as easily.
Yeah.
But over time, it does take a toll on you, and especially mentally. It's
Yeah.
like getting up every week,
Especially
every
when
week.
you've won back to back already.
Yeah, back to back
It's
already.
hard
Like,
to
what's really
try
the
and-
motivation?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you have no purpose,
Yeah.
and that's why like they say that in a fight, the defending champion is always on a back foot because like there's nothing really pushing him as hard as he needs to. Whereas the person that's coming in to take the title, he's
got
always gonna
everything to-
he's gonna put in everything because that's what he's going for.
Yeah.
So that's the Panthers are gonna get every team's best, and
Yeah.
they're gonna expect that. It's
That's
like 2 weeks ago against the Knights, like they just came away with that win,
Yeah.
and then the Knights this week they lose to the Cowboys, and then like now the Cowboys have their 2nd win of the year. It's like, yeah, that's what's amazing about the NRL. It's the parity in the NRL this year.
Yeah, but you gotta feel sorry for the Panthers in that game. Sorry, I missed this point, but Taruva went down injured, and
Right.
then Cleary moved Critter onto the left wing where Taruva was playing,
Right.
and then they scored their try down
Yes.
Critter's side where
Yeah.
he was, where he was supposed to be.
Yes.
So
yeah.
you kind of have to feel sorry. Like, I feel sorry
Yes, you can feel sorry for the Penrith Panthers, but that's good Rabbitohs.
Yeah,
To
that's
identify
true,
that
yeah.
critter went to the other side and then immediately attack the space that he left.
Yeah.
They made 3 breaks down that left
Yeah,
edge.
in the
Yeah.
last 10
In the
minutes.
last,
or
within the
something.
last like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They made, and then Cleary came up with 2, like, unbelievable tackles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it,
Yeah,
yeah.
that when he mowed down
Yeah,
thing for the it's Tess
yeah.
for
Yeah.
that try saver too.
Yeah.
So, man,
Yeah,
props
can't wait
to
for the
the
Anzac
Rabbitohs.
Day games, eh?
But they'll be there. Yeah.
And Broncos on top of the table still. You tipped the Eels last week. You did tip the Eels. I remember this. You said, "Oh, you know what? The Eels can get up. The Eels can get up."
Yeah.
It wasn't even
How
close.
wrong was I? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the Broncos, they're gonna be a top 3 team the whole year, eh? And all you Broncos fans, be happy now. Be happy
For now.
until all
yeah.
your players go to Origin.
What now? Yeah.
Fantasy. You want to quickly touch on fantasy?
Yep.
I'm at delete the app level, so I'm just gonna.
So we can't give you guys an update right now. With 2 games still to go.
Yep.
But, you got any prospects in the waitings for next week?
Yeah.
Just based off these games.
This week has been rough, eh? Like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I did say last week that Turbo had to come and get a 60. Otherwise, I'm leaving the podcast. Yeah, the boys forgave me, which
You
is great.
Junk your way back in.
Yeah, I'm back for another week, which is good. But man, Turbo's on a chopping block for me. He's
Yeah.
gone, eh? I gave him a prove it game this week. Nah, he's gone. He versed the Tigers, man. Come on, surely you can turn up against the Tigers. But yeah, I think Turbo's gone for me. I'm actually considering selling Hoskins.
Wow.
Yeah, because his 30, oh no, he got
He
42 or something. He got updated to 42. Yeah, that's all right, but he got subbed. And people got to remember that he's still a rookie.
Yep.
He's a rookie, and he's been playing 80 minutes. So to play him 80 every game, it's not doable because that's the same case as Preston. It's the same as who is it? Hosking. There's another rookie that I'm forgetting, but yeah, all these rookies that have started hot. Oh, Hopgood, sorry, like Hopgood.
Yes.
All these rookies that have started hot during the season at the
Yeah.
beginning of the season where they're playing 80 plus. Man, they're not getting those minutes anymore because it's starting to catch up on them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really looking at selling Hoskins, definitely selling Turbo, and maybe letting go of Alamoti. Yeah.
Oh, a 3-man trade.
Yeah, 3-man. Yeah, I've been saving my trade. I've got 25 trades left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of doing? You don't know yet.
Well,
Got to see the other 2 games.
Yeah, I've got a few fires next week. With Harry Grant not playing.
Right.
But I've got Tons up Boyd. Dropped the 74 for everyone who held on to him. I can move into my hookers, but then I've got to cover Payne Haas somewhere.
Yeah,
And
that 1 week suspension's a pain. Haas.
Yes, I
killing
need
me.
some mid cover and a wing fullback for Warbrick.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got a few things to work out, but those are
Yeah.
my feeling like trying to find a mid and a wing fullback.
You know, I was thinking about this. If anyone wants help with their teams, DM you decide sports,
Oh yeah.
and Azza will get back to you. Not me, Azza will try and get back to you to help you with your team. If you have any questions, or just screenshot your team and send it through to you decide sports DM, we can try and help you out.
We'll leave you on scene.
We'll give our best opinion.
yeah. So that's all we can do. Is give
That's
you an
all we
opinion.
can do as our couch coach's
But were
opinion.
you did you fall trap to the host party? Were you a host? Of
Nah, I wasn't a
Oh,
host of the
Man,
party,
that was
man.
me.
it? Was
Yeah.
that us?
Yep,
Yeah,
that was us.
Damn.
Yeah, unlucky. But just there's hold on to hope because I think that was just a 1 week thing where you're versing the Panthers. He
That's-
came out and had 4 early missed tackles. It happens, man.
I mean, yeah, that's against the premiers. You know, you can kind of forgive him.
yeah,
If he comes out next week and does the same thing, then
yeah. You're gonna
then
have to.
you
You're gonna have to
reconsider.
sell it,
Yeah.
trade him to.
Well, they are playing the Broncos, so it's another
Yeah.
tough game.
yeah, another tough game. But Hosty started the last 2 games
I
prior
guess
to that.
have
So.
him as a loop option instead of start him.
Be safe, eh? Pick'ems for round 9. Round 9.
Round 9.
For round 9, Sharks and Cowboys on Thursday.
Eee, what a beauty to start. Let's
Boring
go Sharks.
snooze.
13 plus.
I'll say Sharks 1-12.
Actually, Sharks 1-12. Sorry.
They've been disappointing, but hey. come on.
Sharks gonna win there. Friday sees Parramatta Eels play Newcastle Knights.
Oi.
Parramatta at home.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go I'm gonna go to the Knights actually. Yeah, Knights.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going with the
1-12,
Knights
yeah.
as well.
This is probably the game of the weekend. Broncos play Rabbitohs.
Oh, I don't know about that with no Payne Haas.
No Ezra
There
Mam.
is a ma'am. I'm gonna go Rabbits.
Rabbitohs as well.
I think Rabbitohs as well. Then Saturday, Raiders versus Dolphins for the first game.
Raiders off a bye. I'm going Raiders.
No, hey, give me the no, give me the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins.
We'll go
Also,
Raiders,
Dolphins
baby.
are coming off an emotional high. So
Yeah.
Raiders.
Raiders. Second game is Manly and Titans.
Ooh.
Manly and Titans.
This is a slugfest. I'm going to go Titans though.
Nah, Manly.
Yeah, Sea Eagles. And then Penrith play the Tigers.
Oh,
Uppy should be up.
Oh, yes.
Penrith 50-6.
Wow, I
Yeah,
think that's
Penrith
generous.
as well.
And then Sunday has the Waz playing
The
the Roosters.
I'm going to take my Waz. Not confidently, but I'm going to take the Waz.
I am gonna
1-12.
I'm gonna go the Roosters.
Yeah, Roosters.
We'll be at Mount Smart watching Hot Boy Suali'i.
Eee.
Hot boy.
And then last game of the round, Dragons play the Doggies.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's
I
a-
have the Dragons in that one. Too many injuries for doggies.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Doggies actually.
I'll take the Doggies as well.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And that's our pick'ems for NRL. To wrap it up for another episode of You Decide Sports, let's look at the NBA.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Let's look at the NBA. I want to talk about some unwritten rules that the NBA have.
Right.
Sorry, unspoken,
Yes.
for a better way to put it. So in the last, in a blowout game where one side is or one team is thrashing the other team,
Yeah.
it's almost an unspoken rule to not score any more points
Right.
in the final
Gentleman's
moments.
agreement, eh?
It's kind of like a gentleman's agreement.
Right.
Are you in agreement with this? Do you think because there's the other side where you just play to the whistle and you actually close out any game.
Right.
It's not over till it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
are you more for the gentleman's agreement of?
Yeah, I've never understood it, eh? I don't know why they get angry for. Like, just play till the game actually ends. But then, like, I can see why they must have this in locker room thing where you can't score if you're already up or if the other team is getting thrashed.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand it. It must be an American thing.
Yeah. Can you imagine Penrith say they're winning 40 nil against the Rabbitohs?
I know where you're going with this.
They're going 40 nil against the Rabbitohs, and Alex Johnson needs one more try to break the record.
Right.
They just scrub it to him and let him run the field to score.
Yeah.
That's it well with you.
Yeah. Or let's put it this other way. So you know how the Panthers are versus the Tigers this week.
Yeah.
Panthers are up 50-0, right? With like 10 seconds to go. And Cleary attempts like a 50 meter drop goal. So yeah, it's like the same type of thing, right? It's like you're already thrashing them. Why do you need to rub salt into the wound? But then I understand, just play to the final whistle, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a dumb rule.
Yeah, it's
But
different.
that's
eh?
always been a part of the game.
Yeah, I think if it's always been a part of the game and it's out of respect for the opposition, then whatever.
Yeah, I guess
I
it's
mean,
more of a respect thing.
To me, it's like, what are you trying to, like, what does that prove for you? If you're the opposition who's done that, so usually you see them, they put it in and they come back, they're like this.
Yeah,
I'm like, what? Well, you've had a whole
it's
4
for your
quarters.
stats, bro.
You've had a whole
It's
4
for the
quarters.
stats, man. Come
4
on.
quarters to do something about it.
Yeah,
You
true.
know what I mean?
And then now you
can't
decide
get
to wanna
angry.
get a-
You can't get angry when they score the point.
Now
in the
you're
dying
cherry
seconds.
picking a point.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Stats.
But let's look. So NBA into the finals or into the first round of its playoffs. Your pick'ems.
Yep.
So Miami and
Bucks.
the Bucks. It's 2-1 to Miami, to the Heat. Who do you
I
think's coming through?
I still got Bucks coming through.
You reckon?
Giannis has injured his back, I think. So he's been sitting out the last 2 games. But yeah, I still got Bucks to come through with this when Giannis comes back. He's the best player in the world.
Yeah, Bucks as well.
Cleveland. So Cavaliers are playing the Knicks. Knicks are up 3-1. I think it's too much of a
Yeah,
a hill to
that's
climb
too much
for.
of a
See
hill to
the-
climb.
See the Knicks fans saying, "Spider, don't you wish you came to the Knicks?"
Yeah. I mean, I hate Knicks fans, but also basketball is good when the Knicks are doing well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And then Philadelphia's through. They beat
They
beat
swept
Brooklyn.
Yep.
Yeah, in a clean sweep. Boston are playing the Hawks.
easy.
So
Gentleman
it's
sweep.
3-1.
3-1, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
3-1.
so that's your team, eh?
Yep, that's a gentleman sweep right there. We're gonna win in 5.
Name more than
So
5
are we.
players.
So are we in 5.
Yeah. Denver playing Minnesota.
Wolves got up.
Gentlemen
today.
It's
sweep.
3-1. Ooh.
Yep, that's gonna be another gentleman sweep.
Yeah, I think the Nuggets are getting through. And then the Suns and LA. That's an interesting one. They're yeah.
Who's that talking?
CK1's
Oh,
CK1's team.
Are you
Chris is a
Clippers?
Clippers.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he's
Chris is a
Clippers
Clippers fan, but the Suns are up 3-1.
That's another gentleman sweep, unfortunately,
Ooh.
to Chris's team.
And
I think the game of this round of playoffs is the Kings and Golden State.
Yes,
They're
yes,
at a lockout for 2.
yes.
So it's
That's a
2
great
all.
series.
And I
Great
think it's
series.
moving back to
Sacramento.
Yeah, so Sacramento
Yep.
to play.
they almost punched it at the death today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harrison
He missed
Barnes
the
missed the 3. But I still got Sacramento in 7.
Whoa.
Yeah, every team is going to win their home
3.
games
Yeah.
because both teams are unbeatable at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got Sack in 7.
That would be so good for NBA.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
reckon?
Yeah.
Nah, I
For
think
Sacramento fans, they deserve
They deserve
this.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. But the Warriors, I think,
Yeah.
they've been there.
They've been
They've
there,
done.
yeah.
Yeah.
To be
They're
honest,
the Penrith of.
Yeah.
yes,
of
they are the
NBA,
Penrith of the
so,
NBA. And the NBA, to be honest, they're low-key hoping the Warriors get through
Yeah.
because they have such a massive fan base, especially all the bandwagoners like Bo.
Just
Hey,
quickly,
man.
who would you? So, because you're a Golden State fan.
Yeah.
So, in comparison, in the NRL comparison, would be the Penrith Panthers.
Right.
You're a Boston fan. Who would you say your NRL comparison is?
I would say our NRL comparison, the Parramatta Eels.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
maybe.
So good in regular
But-
season, but can't win in
Yeah,
the finals.
yeah, because we made finals last year, but we didn't win,
Ah.
and that was the same
Yeah,
as the
yeah.
Parramatta Eels.
I think that's a good
That's
comparison
yeah.
a
too.
good comparison.
Who would you compare the Broncos to?
The Broncos.
The Broncos, the Thunder.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's harsh.
Yeah, OKC Thunder, because the Broncos, they're the youngest. The Thunder, they're one of the youngest teams, and they just missed out on the playoffs
Yeah,
this
they
year.
didn't make it.
And Broncos are one of the youngest teams in the NRL,
And what
but
about-
they're going to do well.
What about my Lake Show?
Your Lake Show, what's the oldest team in the... probably the Dolphins?
Probably the
'Cause they-
Dragons.
Yeah.
Oh no, probably
Manly.
the Rabbitohs.
DCE.
Yeah. Whatever the oldest team in the NRL is, yeah, that's what the Lake Show
Isn't
is.
it Roosters?
Yes, the Rabbitohs.
Rabbitohs
Yeah,
and Roosters.
Rabbitohs, yeah.
And then Matul Slips' team, Memphis, playing Aaron's team, the Lakers. Lakers up 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah,
a
that's going to
gentleman.
be a tough...
Who do you think is coming through?
I think it's going to be Lakers in 6, eh?
Oh, I say Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 6. Do you reckon another gentleman sweep?
That's another one.
Man, this the first round is just full of gentleman
Yeah.
sweeps.
But who do you think is going to play the NBA finals?
The
coming
NBA
through?
finals?
Your picks now.
Very early NBA finals prediction. Celtics versus the Suns.
That was gonna be mine too. Like,
Celtics playing
yeah,
the
for real.
Suns.
Yeah.
Celtics
Ooh.
versus Suns. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think we make.
Celtics coming second in their conference, and the Suns coming in fourth.
Yeah.
So that's not
Yeah,
bad.
I think we make it past this round and then sayonara after that.
Yeah. You got to remember that the playoffs, it's its own season, eh?
Yeah.
It's like another season starting all over. So Celtics versus Suns.
Yeah.
And then Celtics in 6. Let's go, baby.
That's our episode for today, fellas.
Does it?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Matul Slips, what are your picks to play finals this year for NBA?
Go with my Grizzlies.
Oh, here we
Was it Grizzly in 11?
And I'll say the Celtics.
Yes, baby.
And Grizzlies got to win.
Grizzlies gonna take it. Chris, your picks for this year's NBA Finals?
Apparently, all our teams are in the NBA Finals.
We are.
Yeah.
My Golden State, I'm telling
That's
you,
a
are
new
coming
one to
through.
me.
My God, Chris is saying
Looks like it's an
Clippers
early
versus
ride home
Celtics.
for the Clippers.
Club Warriors, Grizzly.
he thinks versus Celtics versus the Bucks.
To be honest, I didn't
Okay.
care.
He just said the Suns versus Celtics.
He
in the
said the
finals.
Suns playing the Celtics. Ooh, interesting. But that's our episode for today, lads. It was a pleasure.
Peace.
Like and subscribe and comment down below. Asa, do your thing, man.
Do your job.
Do your job.
Segue to me now.
Oh yeah,
Good enough.
segue now.
That's us for today, lads. Over to you, Aaron.
Like and subscribe, do all that good stuff. Follow us at You Decide Sports and You Decide Podcast on Instagram.
Comment in the comment section and turn on the notifications.
Bing.
Let's go.
Later.